Hello, and welcome to the 5th video of my 10-part Breath of the Wild any percent speedrunning tutorial series. In this one, I'll completely cover the 4th segment of the route, which begins with leaving the Stasis Shrine and then heading through the coldest area of the Great Plateau to complete our final shrine of the run, Cryonis. As always, if there's anything I cover that you don't know how to follow along with, the answers you need should be listed in the first video of this series. Go check the chapters in its description, or ask a comment below or in the Breath of the Wild Speedrun Discord server. And if there's anything I cover that's outdated by the time you're watching this and I've made an updated addendum video, a card linking you to the new strats will also pop up in the right corner. Before we begin, I want to be absolutely clear on how important it is to make sure you've cleared skew before setting new skew. Setting new skew when Link already has some will not work as intended, so always be aware of whether or not Link is clear or needs to be cleared. For example, this point could have been elaborated on better in the Magnesis video because you'll likely still have Temple of Time skew after leaving the Bomb Shrine. And Temple of Time skew doesn't work on the Magnesis clip, so it needs to be cleared before you set new skew at Mag Shrine. I touched on this, but I didn't hammer the point, and the same goes for clearing your Ragdoll, which is a separate yet somewhat correlated phenomenon of the game, so keep these things in mind. And with that, let's begin. At the very start of this segment, just like the previous two, we begin inside the shrine we just finished. You want to skip past the first two text boxes by mashing X for the first and A for the second, and then wait a moment to cancel the final cutscene until the monk's text has faded away to get your faster load screen and free time save. Similarly to the beginning of the Stasis segment, when you regain control of Link outside of the Stasis Shrine, you want to already be holding a general down-left position on both control sticks, and B to sprint towards the boulder behind the shrine over here, while also turning the camera to see where you're going. You can typically make it all the way over to the boulder without depleting the stamina wheel, so sprinting the whole way over to it should be fine. Now, while scripting the videos for this series, I fully intended to cover how to do both the BLSS and the bullet time bounce to get to Cryo, which both sort of start here with the setup at this boulder. But the truth is that the BTB in any percent has basically become an obsolete tool, except maybe at the top level sometime in the future as the category gets more and more optimized. Because there are some crazy BTBs I've seen people play with, and the one to get to Cryo is slightly faster than the BLSS when done super optimally. For now, just know the BTB exists and that the juice is not really worth the squeeze as far as difficulty, consistency, and the reward versus punishment time save balance goes, if you know what I mean. And I'm the guy who suggests you start going for gamer windbomb as soon as you're comfortable with windbombs in general, so take that for what it's worth. Now, to get from Stasis to Cryo, we start by riding a boulder launched with Stasis. I did not cover this Stasis launch in the first video because to me it's more of an unorthodox use of the rune rather than a glitch, but that's just my humble little opinion. The developers did intend for you to use Stasis launches. Riding them is where players got creative, but I'll digress. If you did a wind bomb inside the Stasis Shrine, make sure that you menu back to Stasis, and I'm going to show you the 8-hit setup because it gets Link up there more safely and leaves the spear less damage than the 10-hit setup, which could be especially helpful for amiibo runners, and you'll see why in the next video. Once you've run up to the boulder, step in place next to it at this position here, freeze it with Stasis, and immediately start mashing Y to do a flurry of 4 hits. Then jump to cancel the 5th longer hit. Wait until Link lands back on the ground, and then start mashing Y again for a second flurry of 4 hits, and jump to cancel the 5th hit again, for a total of 8 hits. While dealing these hits, you can also pre-turn your camera a bit into position for the next step, which is to press L3 to crouch down low and wedge Link right up against the boulder here, and aim up with the bow to shoot the boulder in this area right here. Once you've taken your shot, hold down on the control stick while pressing B for just a brief moment so that Link uncrouches and does a quick step or two away from the boulder to get out from under it. Then immediately turn back, hop to climb up the boulder, and position Link in this little dimple right here, facing towards the wall. If you're fast enough, you can activate Stasis and unfreeze the block before the timer runs out to save yourself that much more time. But until you're at that point, just catching the flight is objective A here. Once the boulder is launched, you can menu to square bombs, and once you're up top, you're in the cold, and you will take half-hearted damage for every 10 seconds you're up here. So it's important not to take damage from the boulder launch and to move quickly. Start heading towards this tree here with the boulder next to it and prepare to do another BLSS by throwing the bomb in a way that it goes to the right of the boulder but keeps the tree in its blast radius, and this will knock down the tree and roll the boulder out of the way so it doesn't block your flight path. Now, set up the BLSS and take off from the stump using about this spot right here as your launch point. Once airborne, wiggle the control stick and turn the camera as needed to send Link off around the way to the right, and then make a wide, sweeping left turn around the corner of the cliff this way. Now you should have a straight shot towards the shrine, so try to build as much speed while flying towards the rocks on the peak, because you can save taking cold damage by moving faster. Once Link hits a certain speed, the game will get confused and briefly think that he's not in the cold anymore, which resets your cold damage timer from wherever it was in the 10 count to losing your next half a heart. This could make the difference between having enough hearts or backup food to do the wind bomb inside Cryo in a moment, or having to go through the traditional way. Once you come in and touch down at Cryo, make your way up the rest of the hill on foot and make sure to re-equip your shield. Keep in mind that running through the snow is slower, so if you have a path where you can run up to the shrine along the rock, do that. Now that you're at the shrine, you'll need to set new skew to get inside, so again, make sure you've cleared it. We're going to use the same general bean area again as a target zone to land Link's shield to set the skew, and once you have skew, it's time to set Link's angle, so move to the right and face this area right here. Hold ZL, approach the shrine, and jump on the wall while continuing to hold ZL. Do not let go of it or it'll change Link's facing angle. Link should slide down the side of the shrine wall like this. Now you can strafe or do a side hop to the left and position Link's head in this spot right here between these two dots. Do an instant shield jump, unequipping the pot lid mid-flip, and Link should go right in. As soon as you're in, re-equip your shield. You'll want to run to face the elevator from the front of the shrine like this. There's a small invisible wall here, but you can move past it pretty seamlessly if you're already holding throw aim as you move. You want to face perpendicular to the elevator in this position using throw aim, then do another instant shield jump and unequip the pot lid mid-flip to perform the second clip and re-equip your shield once inside the elevator. If you miss, make sure you're not right up against the elevator. Back up just a step and keep trying until you either get inside, bonk, or freeze. I highly recommend practicing with a lot of backup food or cold resistant meals so you can spend as much time practicing these clips as you want without having to worry about freezing to death. There's another method of clipping into Cryonis known as the extended shield clip or ESC. This trick is a little bit faster, but it has more advanced button combos and it's inherently less consistent because it's a frame perfect trick and you cannot buffer one frame at a time. So this is only recommended once you've built a strong understanding of how skew and clipping works through just experience performing it on the sidewall clips, and once you're proficient, consistent, and confident with those, and you're just looking for somewhere in your run to shave off a little extra time, the ESC is a nice upgrade for time save. If you feel like you're at that point and you're ready to learn the ESC, I've linked JoeDun's ESC tutorial in the description below. It's excellent, go check it out. And once you're up inside the elevator, press A to activate it and X to cancel the cutscene. Just as in the previous 3 shrines, mash X to cancel the cutscene as Link is shown entering the shrine below. Then hold up left on the control stick and B to prepare sprinting, and you can also optionally be holding ZL until you feel a slight vibration in the controller and then letting go for a small head start as you make your way to activate the podium. Go through the cutscene, skip the text boxes, and once you regain control of Link, if you have more than 1 heart of life, you can do the wind bomb inside the shrine. If the cold damaged you too much and you don't have enough backup food, you'll have to run around as intended. There is a backup called Cryo Skip, which used to be the standard strategy. And I don't want to focus on this too much because for how often you'll need to use it versus how much you'll need to practice it versus how much time it saves, honestly, you're better off just practicing the BLSS over to Cryo so that you don't even have to worry about a backup. But for the curious learner out there who wants all the tools in their collection, I've linked Limcube's Cryo Skip tutorial in the description. It's by far the best you'll find out there. I will say, though, that if you do have to go around, make sure to menu back to circle bombs when you're done using Cryonis, as you'll need to use the circle bombs at the start of the next segment. Now it's time to talk about setting up the Cryo wind bomb, and this is arguably the easiest wind bomb in the entire run. When you regain control of Link after restoring Cryonis, run over here and stand with Link's left foot where you can see the shadow jut in and out on this spot. Make sure your glitched ragdoll state is cleared. The fastest way to do it in this case is to do a neutral shield jump and unequip your shield mid-jump, and then not move from this spot. You should also menu from Cryonis to circle bombs at this time. This ragdoll clear is not as consistent as actually ragdolling. Now, throw aim towards the wall. I use the wall's trim as a visual aid and aim the top or the bottom crosshair reticle right here in the trough to the left of the higher crest of the wall's design. Then do a standard front hop wind bomb, and this should land you up on top of this platform behind the monk or sometimes right beside him. Either way, once you made it up top, make your way around and up the stairs to activate the fourth and final monk. Hit your timer as the glass shatters, and that's it. You've done it again. That's the end of the Cryonis segment. The only thing left to do before heading to the castle is to grab the paraglider, and although the next segment is a short one, there's some good info to be aware of before you're fully ready to start doing Great Plateau any percent runs to build your plateau skills before I start getting into the castle and endgame content to complete the full any percent run. So stay tuned for that, subscribe to make sure and catch the following tutorials to come in the series, and hit the like button if this video helped you. It helps me so much. And if you'd like to see me doing runs live, my Twitch channel is also linked in the description, so go ahead and follow me there. I'd love to see you in the live streams where I'm currently speedrunning this game 4 nights a week, Monday through Thursday, to grind my personal best time as low as possible. Anyway, good luck with your practice, and leave any questions you have in the comments or in the Breath of the Wild speedrunning Discord server. And until next time, stay well, stay cool, and always keep punching out there. Aloha.